probably never.
Oh, hey, hi, hello, welcome on in. It is another week of our favorite VTM game here on Twitch. Um, this is going to be episode 17. A deal is struck. So I'm excited to see how this shenanigans continues to unfold here. But first, we're going to be going around the room, introduce who we're going to be playing this evening, and sort of doing a little bit of a recap of where we had left off. And we'll go ahead and start with Warren.
Hi, I'm Warren, and I am playing Marlowe. Marlowe doesn't know what clan he's from, but he's probably a Tremere.
You'd love to see it. Next up, we have Justin.
Hi, I'm Justin. I'll be playing Julian, the Malkavian.
Fantastic. And a small little guest appearance of the one and only Spider.
Who's that?
Mm. Next up, we have Hannah.
Hey, I'm Hannah, playing Charlie the Zimitsi.
Wonderful. Next up, we have Rob.
Hi, I'm Rob. I'm going to be playing Vincent Arlasombra.
And last, but certainly not least, we have Lennon.
Hello, I'm Lennon, and I'll be playing Kenneth, the Nosferatu.
All right. So last we had left off. I almost said last week, but I was sort of recovering. Last we left off, we had a very interesting time at the theater, as you guys were highly requested to come and meet an individual and discuss some business to right some wrongs of some kind. And you guys went to the Morale Theater downtown and had the whole auditorium and theater to yourself. Besides a couple of security guards that are sort of up on the second balcony, a masked individual sitting in between them, and down below, a familiar individual of X, who was more or less the mouthpiece for the person up top. X was go ahead and doing the best that he could to try to give you guys as much options that are available for you, as you guys are very new to this horrible world of darkness that you guys find yourselves thrown into the middle of. And he's trying to do the best he can for you guys. So, trying to break line of sight with the best he can for his chances to speak. He will go ahead and give you guys the different options that were available for you as far as repayment goes. Whether or not that was straight up assets or funds, or working for the spider, or more of a tenured service. You guys decided you guys would go ahead and pool some resources together and pay things off right, so not having to worry about maybe having to put some sort of stains against who you are as an individual. So you guys went ahead and discussed that that was going to be the option. And X had mentioned, because there was some prior enthusiasm as far as working with X and in this circulatory system. And X offered to go ahead and provide a introduction for you guys with his boss, and to see where you guys could fit as far as production goes, or into the overall circulatory system that he has put in place. So that is where we are going ahead and setting up. I will go ahead and do some housekeeping here first. If you guys had used any willpower, feel free to go ahead and renew some of that willpower here. And is there anyone that has any sort of stains against who they are as individuals? That is...
slacking.
I know. Not enough Oblivion powers being used. Duly noted. Must make more corpses for you to cover up. Okay, perfect. Well, with that being said, we'll go ahead and pick up here. You guys are currently having a bit of discussion with the spider before Riley's phone begins to ring. Get sort of a frantic look on their face before excusing themselves outside of the theater and sort of heading in sort of shortly after following Julian.
Does X hang around?
He goes, more or less, him and the spider swap spots. So X will go up into the second story balcony, while it's more or less you guys having the floor with Spider.
Okay. Any chance I could roll an insight just for a, like, what kind of person is the spider?
Yeah, you could absolutely go ahead and roll wits and insight for me, please.
Thanks. Out of character, I think I know, but in character, I don't. So, is there a difficulty on this?
Difficulty is going to be 4 for this. It's going to be a bit of a tougher roll.
Four.
There we go. Very well dressed. Definitely has some high-end suit that he's currently wearing. Seems to carry himself upright. Looks like he has some... obviously able to see some tattoos on him, but you definitely get the sense that he almost exudes professionalism. But you definitely can get the undertone that you feel uneasy a little bit, just sort of being in his vicinity. Like, you're unsure of how he's going to react or move. Sort of unsure on that. You do get, as a little reminder recap from X as well, that absolutely batshit crazy, but is very fair in his judgments.
Okay. So I think Vincent would probably start talking as X walks away and says, "So you're the spider, huh? our friend told us that we should probably stay away from you. You think they were right?
Who was your friend that told you that you should probably stay away from me?
Somebody who has a habit of seeing things before they happen.
Oh, he's one of those. Eh. I mean, in this life, you make your own decisions. We can perhaps do some business, and how far you wish to take this is entirely up to you. All I ask is your discretion.
Okay. I think that there's a lot of ways that that could be taken. Discretion from who?
From everyone. Someone asks if you know the spider, the answer is no.
Does that go both ways?
Of course. If you work for me, unless you tell someone you work for me, they will never know. I mean, some of my more excitable followers have a tendency to maybe wear tattoos with spiders. This is not a requirement for us to do business.
Got it. Got it. What kind of business are you in?
Quickly, your friend who just left, is he necessary for this conversation to continue?
Uh, I would say the first one chose to not be a part of it, and the second one, I think that they were just they're a very social person. They have a tendency to be double booked.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we are not wasting either of our time.
I think Vincent would look around at the others and say, we're all pretty new to this coterie thing. So I think that how much we're signing each other up for things is still to be determined. I'm expecting that these folks are making choices as individuals.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying the situation.
Yeah, of
Now, what
course.
is it you think you can do for me?
I think that really depends on what it is that you do. But
I do a little bit of everything.
sure. Well, I think that we have a pretty varied set of skills too. Myself, pretty good at cleaning up after messes, pretty good at getting people to do things that maybe they don't originally want to do.
What about you, Scarface?
Me?
I see no one else in front of me whose face appears to be ripped halfway off. I mean, no offense.
None taken. I'm good at being places I shouldn't be.
Is to be expected. Is that it?
For now, yeah.
What about you, Mr. Flower Shirt?
Is that who's Flower Shirt?
You! You wearing flower shirt!
Oh, that's right. I am wearing flowers. Sorry, forgot which character this was. I'm absolutely wearing a flower shirt. Apologies. It's like
Is he
I'm wearing a
okay?
hoodie. That's all I ever wear. All right, no, right. Marlo, not Carter. I I'm still sort of figuring that out, to be honest.
And you're
But
still alive?
apparently being cautious has its perks.
I would know nothing about this.
But if I think all of us have questions. If you're answering questions,
Not yet.
uh,
What about you, young miss?
I'm kind of with him. I'm figuring things out. But I know that I can get people to do what I want them to do. At least some people.
Okay. All right. Now, flowers. Go ahead with your questions.
oh, I meant more of if everybody we talk to seems to tell us, just wait till you know war what you're doing. if there's a way to help you out that maybe we don't have to wait so long, I'd be interested.
We get a lot of
So,
"we'll tell you when you're older."
you want to learn? Yeah, they like to keep
Yeah.
you slow and stupid. It's common. I have no such problems teaching people how to do what we do. So,
What is it that we do from your perspective?
it, well, my perspective is that we we're we're playing catch up. The mortals, they're easier to how you say, work together because common enemy, yes. Lots of infighting amongst our kind, different factions, factions within factions. It all gets so nauseating. This is why I've taken myself out of the system, so to speak. I provide a service, one that is highly coveted by everyone. Doesn't matter what faction you claim to be a part of. This service has done very well for me and has allowed me to kind of expand my operations. Unfortunately, sometimes people stumble into those things and they cause minor delays.
Like us.
Eh, that's water off a duck's back, so to say. You 600,000 comes to my bank account, we're all good.
Interesting. Well, uh, yeah, that is part of the plan, but I was sort of hoping that we could talk about some other things too.
Okay. What do you like to talk about?
Well, I'm gonna gesture towards the disappearing X and say, X had indicated that you were looking for people to potentially do some work for you. That's a thing that we're open to, but we didn't want to do that coming from the place of being in debt. So,
That's fair. I understand. You want to stand on your own 2 feet, be
yeah,
your own men and women, or woman, sorry.
there is another piece to it too, which is you and I actually know each other. Well,
We
I know
do.
you. Yeah. You were there on the night that I was born, so to speak.
Well, I apologize. I do not recognize you.
That's okay. Honestly, I think that really I'm more interested in knowing who the other person was.
You think they are an agent of mine?
I think that they were with you and that you I'm going to gesture towards my face and say we're wearing similar attire.
Ah, do you know date? I had to look at my book.
The date of the night that we were all turned.
Let's see. And where was the address? I killed so many people that night. It was not
Well, then I think
hard to
maybe
keep
I
track.
won't talk too much about the address because it wasn't mine. And I'm interested in making sure that the person who it did belong to doesn't get another visit.
Are they someone who we may have uncovered in our research about you?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that I'm somebody who has a lot of connections, so it's possible.
They have shown up on your phone records, emails, this sorts of
Yes,
things. We probably have them. I mean, not have them. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we probably have it in our database of information about you. It's all in your file.
good to know. Good to know. And good to know that you're thorough. But same thing. I'm interested in making sure that they don't get another visit.
Okay. Well, as long as we continue to have mutually beneficial and positive business relations, I can promise that your loved ones will stay safe, at least
Understood.
from me and
Understood.
mine.
I would still be interested in meeting. I don't know how you would refer to the person who made me,
Sire,
than my sire.
can I ask, what is your intentions upon meeting your sire?
Well, as far as I can tell, there's not a lot of other Lasombra.
So you're hoping to learn from them.
At least to talk to them, figure out a sort of shared perspective. Works very well for
No
the roses.
hard feelings between the two of you? I mean, on your side, I don't think they probably even remember who you are, if I'm being quite honest.
Maybe you can understand I have some pretty complicated feelings towards them. But,
Certainly. You are not given choice,
right.
which I think is always a bad idea. I I don't know exactly what they were thinking when they chose to execute that particular endeavor. But eh, not my circus.
Yeah, that's, regardless, I think really what I'm trying to say is that's something that I would be interested in terms of an outcome of our relationship.
Certainly. How about this? I have idea for a way that you could be useful to me in the immediate short term. What we'll do is we'll take your money. I give it to Miss Chen. She'll put it in escrow account. It will earn between 5 and 7% interest. We'll keep the money there, and this will be money you can reacquire over time. Yes.
If that's how you
That
want
way
to do
you
it.
don't feel like you're working for nothing. The money's there. It's making you money. Trust me, Miss Chen. Excellent. Ever since she's become a part of my operation, my profits have tripled.
Hmm. You don't seem like somebody who's ever really struggled with that, so it's good to know.
Oh, it's not really about the money. I mean, the money just makes things easier, especially with the mortals. When you can buy someone a house, you can make them do a lot of things for you. When you can
Understood.
buy an entire small town sheriff department, you can make a lot of things go away.
Yeah. I will say, as we're talking about potential opportunities here, I think that you enjoy a lot of freedoms that we might not, and that even X enjoys a fair amount of freedoms that we might. We're not particularly interested in getting executed at a rant and rave by a baron who feels that we've slighted them.
If you're careful, what I have in mind shouldn't put you in any danger. But if you're sloppy and stupid, well, you're just part of Darwin.
Speaking of Darwin, it's stupid. Is the whole high school vibe like? Is that a thing that we're gonna have to deal with forever? The cliques and the
As long as you are involved with any of the, regular factions, the Anarchs, the Camarilla. The Camarilla feels more like you're in the king's court. It's all high, fancy, speaking the right way, waiting your turn, making appointments. Where, yes, the Anarchs are much more akin to a high school clique that will kill you if you cross them. I don't go in for that shit. If you work
So,
hard, you do what you're supposed to do, I reward it.
so what's the vibe of your faction?
Do what I need you to do effectively and in the time frame that I set, and you get to enjoy a very prosperous life or unlife. And I mean, don't. And it's a very, like, merit system.
But instead
Do
of
well,
fired, you get
succeed.
executed.
Well, I mean, what I mean, I don't do a habit of killing a lot of my guys. They just usually get killed because they're stupid. They do something stupid. They fuck up. They cross the wrong person. They get seen. Like the guys, you know, the guys who, you know,
From the church.
yeah,
Got it.
it's unfortunate. Lucky I didn't tax you on that too. He was worth way more.
Well, hope you'll accept our apologies. We didn't know that they were
Like I
really
said,
elite.
water off a duck's back. But you know what they say: ignorance is, no excuse for fucking up.
Well, I think that goes back to my friend here's ask for help us to not be ignorant.
Yeah, I can do this, but first you need to do something for me. So I got this suitcase over here. Yes, get these little gadgets in there. I need you to just kind of go to Fairfield's hangouts and just kind of stash them in places, and then maybe Brink's locations where he hang out and stash them around the place, maybe in his car. That moron drives that black vehicle. He's like so stands out. I mean, it's ridiculous. He just can't give it up. He can't help himself. But maybe one, in the glove box. I just like to know now that I've kind of, got a little bit of a target on my back because of y'all, your actions. I would like to know what the conversation is.
Sure. I can understand that impetus. Fairfield didn't seem to think that he was likely to be able to do much against you.
Well, Fairfield and I have complicated relationship. We've known each other for a long time. It all started when I nearly killed him when I blew up a rant and rave and killed like a whole bunch of us. It was amazing. The fireball could be seen from 2 counties over. Anyways, I'm sorry. I get caught up in this. But he survived, and then we have to break him out of SI prison. So we go, we take him, get him out. Then he, kind of lapdog for for the prince of the Camarilla. It's just, yeah, it was lots of things happen. Lots of blood there. Bad blood, I guess you would say. So he don't like me, and I don't like him very much. But you know, I'm not scared of him at all. But
I
he
think
does
he
have other
knows that.
barons. Well, yeah, I nut tapped him the last time I saw him. It was pretty funny. Sorry. I don't know, something. I like you guys, so I get a little more gregarious when I like you guys. So
Got it.
you remind me of people I know.
I think I'll look at the others and say, so thoughts?
Doesn't seem that hard.
As long as
It's
we don't
not
get ourselves caught.
precisely.
I don't know.
But just the 2 barons? Isn't there 3? Just what, the 2?
That is a rattlesnake pile we do not want to kick. I'll just leave it at that.
The 3rd baron is the rattlesnake.
Yeah. I once saw her stab a guy with a broomstick and then whisper in his ear. This was the baddest shit. Help's not coming. It was so cool.
That sounds really scary actually.
Well, no, I mean, that shit was like, yeah. We high fived after. It was so cool. Then we blew up a gas station.
A lot of
What is
explosions.
with you and all this explosions? Yeah, seriously.
I'm Russian. That answers the
Oh.
question right there.
You won't ever ask us to explode things, right?
I mean, after we've gotten to know each other a little bit, and if the position comes up and the pay is right, is that something you could find yourself maybe willing to do?
This feels like an interview.
Yeah. No, not at this very
Oh,
moment.
no. I'm not saying like I wouldn't like go in the back right now and grab a chunk of C4 and be like, hey, go blow up this building for me.
Well,
I'm
what
saying
I'm
like
saying is
after
like, yeah, but I can't even like guarantee that I could do that right now. Like for the future.
are you like scared of explosions?
Maybe a little bit. I shot this gun and it just like exploded out of my hand basically, and yeah. So
Hey,
For
so
right
Oh.
now, yeah.
four successes on an insight. Does Dimitri have C4 in the back that he could go grab? Like,
Oh yeah, you can see like the
Piles of
smiles on the
tiles.
like on the corner. He's like,
It's actually probably with 4 successes. There's probably C4 in the room that's a lot more accessible if you really needed to deliver some.
got it.
It's in the other briefcase.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
actually under the seats where you guys were sitting, but it was just in case.
Don't grab the wrong briefcase, okay?
so yeah. Look, do this for me. When you're all done, we'll check the sound, make sure everything good, and then you know, I'll take you out. We'll go party a little bit. I'll show you the ropes. Introduce you to some people, some powerful people. See these barons out here, they give themselves title and they talk about you keep what you keep. I'm out here doing all kinds of crazy shit these guys have no idea about. And the people I work with, same thing. So I introduce you to some people. Good people.
Does that include the person I'm looking for?
We'll see what we can do.
So how long do you want this job to take?
I mean, the sooner the better, but I mean, I'm not operating like, okay, maybe should be less than 2 weeks if you need a hard deadline. But I mean, hey,
Gotta-
let's see. I got this burner. You call this number or text this number if you need extension, like you need like another week or something. You let me know. It's all good.
Okay.
Pulls out a business
I'm down.
card, writes a number on it. Who's boss?
I don't know that we
I'm
have.
gonna point at Vincent.
Oh,
What is
meanwhile,
saying there?
Vincent's saying, I don't know that we have one, but I'll take it.
Okay.
It's definitely
Boss
Vincent.
move.
He
Boss move,
Demisi
exactly.
gets really, really close to you, Vincent, and whispers in your ear, "That makes you responsible. Remember that."
Understood. Understood.
Okay, well, hey, we'll get you back where you need to go. Grab suitcase on way out. When everything done, you let me know. We'll go party a little bit, yes?
Maybe.
Yeah, sounds great.
You, I like, he says, pointing right at Charlie. Is she down for everything? Because if she is, fuck
Just
yeah.
parties.
Oh, cool. You're gonna
Yeah,
see
the
some wild
explosion
shit.
is a
I
no-go.
promise. All right, Scarface Flowers, you take it easy. We'll see you guys soon. He gives finger guns as he's backing away.
Oh,
You too, Spidey.
Infused finger guns
That
back.
stops him.
oh no.
I'm sorry, what was this?
Spidey, like Spider-Man.
You see these like really rigid nails start to grow from his hand. He turns around, walks right up to Victor. I need you to understand something. Nicknames are my thing. You don't call me by nickname. You put respect in your voice when you say my name. Or I take you, I gut you from throat to groin. I pull your intestines out, then I hang you from balcony by them. You know what fun part is? You don't die. You stay there as long as I fucking want you to. Clear?
Absolutely, Mr. Spider.
Slaps him on the shoulder. Good talk!
So Spider's not a nickname. You don't want us to call you by your real name.
See you later, boys! And girls. Boo, boo, boo.
I think he gets to pick the nicknames. That's the issue.
Definitely more of a Wolverine, anyways, with the last.
Yeah. Doc Ock, maybe. Green Goblin energy.
A little manic, yeah.
A little? But roughly at this time, after the spider leaves, Miss Chen does come back and ask if you guys are ready to return back to the address, or if you guys would like to sit down and enjoy the rest of the opera that is currently playing in the background.
I think let's get out of here.
Yeah. Not an opera fan.
Pity.
Don't say that too loud. He got really upset about the Spidey thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him that. But yes, I believe, and she sort of looks down at her phone. Riley, said they needed to take a leave and go handle some business, but to let you know
Okay.
that they would contact you once they were done.
Okay, well, they're a grown up, so.
Sure.
Really?
I mean, legally, yes, they are.
Allegedly.
I think Vincent like starts walking out with holding the briefcase, and like along the way just like hands it over to Kenneth. It's like, yeah, this is your thing.
I was gonna say why me, but yeah, no, okay, yeah, that makes sense. How many are in here anyway?
Let's figure it out when we get back. I think Vincent is trying to not be too obvious about the business in front of Miss Jen.
Understandable. As you reconvene with Julian, you guys are all escorted back to Julian's house, and the car that was parked out front is no longer there, as you had, believe, sent him off to go do some research on a couple of things for you. But other than that, everything seems to be no.
So I think when we get back in the house, Vincent's going to be like, Julian, I think you'd have hated that guy.
So we decided to work for him.
We decided to do a thing for him. He has things that are worth it. And the job is relatively low risk.
Okay. I guess. I mean, what are we doing?
Seems like he wants to spy on the Baron.
That shouldn't be a problem at all.
Well, it doesn't involve too much active involvement from us, just dropping some things off.
Okay.
What could go wrong?
Agreed.
No, he seemed more forthcoming. No less dangerous, probably more so, but orderly.
In a very chaotic kind of way.
You of course realize the
I get the sense
contradiction
that you
we have.
probably know why he's going to kill you, right?
Well, I guess that's something.
You know why, but not the how.
You probably have a
You
good
probably know
idea as
how.
to the how.
It's a lot of explosions.
behind
Explosions?
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised to learn that the entire opera house was wired to explode.
But I mean, he was in there too.
Okay, so maybe not the part around him, but
Do you think that he would have survived that?
I don't know. I don't really know what any of us can do, and that was part of what he had to offer.
Oh, so he's going to give us information about what we are.
Yeah.
And introduce us to some people.
People who he claimed are outside of the factionalism of our new lives, though I think that it sounded an awful lot like they're not a part of a faction group was a faction.
Well, I mean, technically we're a faction, so kind of hard to get
Yeah.
away from that, huh?
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Well, at least we don't have to kill or kidnap anyone, right?
Right.
So far.
Kenneth.
He did seem to make that any involvement in that was an optional thing, but also if you were into it, that he had jobs available.
Oh,
And all I'm saying is if I get caught putting one of these somewhere where I shouldn't be, I don't know if I should leave witnesses.
Well, that won't really be at his behest. I think that he would say that that was because you fucked up. Or we fucked up. I think he would probably treat it as we fucked up.
Probably.
okay. I can't even remember where we were at in our initial conversation before Miss Chen showed up. But at least we appear to have something to do that doesn't require us to kill anyone or find anyone. Doesn't involve other people directly, which seems to be our primary source of trouble.
Yeah.
City, we're someplace safe, right?
We're in my
Confident
house.
we can talk here. Yeah. I mean, does anybody else think it's a little weird? He talked about blowing up a rant and rave.
Wait, what?
It kind of just sounded like a normal conversation for him.
Yeah, but
Oh, no, because he was very confident.
It seemed weird. I think let me put it. I started this conversation with I don't think Julian would have liked this guy because he was absolutely insane and very calm about it, and very much like this is the normal way of things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I don't know how I would have handled that.
The idea that the thing that we were at a few nights ago at the ballpark that could have just exploded. Yeah, no, that seemed weird.
I
And
think it
also
was a
like a
message.
massive security oversight.
I don't think he's concerned about that at all
I mean, do you
on
think it was
his
like a
behalf, not for us.
threat?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I don't know.
He didn't seem to mean it as a threat. Based on the threat that happened shortly thereafter, it was a very different sort of approach.
Okay, okay.
It was almost
Okay.
like he was excited about blowing up this rant and rave, but then like super pissed that somebody called him Spidey.
Oh wow. Okay.
I thought we're doing
Yeah.
nicknames, right? Like he was calling Scarface, that was Flower Shirt. You know, it's kind of feeling him out.
Yeah, it seemed only
Yeah,
fair.
well, you felt him out and it did not go well for you.
Obviously, I didn't die. We learned something.
Don't poke the giant bear with the stick.
That the
Don't poke
fun
the
act is
spider.
the act, right? The fun Uncle Spider dropped the second that things weren't going his way.
Fun Uncle Spider.
I mean, he was trying to play that, right? Like, he was basically one set of parents is shitty Game of Thrones, the other set of parents is shitty high school kids. I'm the cool uncle.
Oh, okay. I get you. I see what you're saying. But then you said something that tripped a trigger, huh?
Yes, and he threatened to, what was it, hang me by my entrails and the best part was that I wasn't going to die.
That's the best part.
But for him, I guess. Not the most stable of individuals.
Yeah. Okay. Well, probably the faster we can get this job over and done with, the better, right?
Yes.
So, yes.
So let's go do some surveillance.
Let's go spy on the Baron.
I'd like to look around and figure out where the briefcase was during all of this.
I would assume either in the room or on the table or in the middle of the room, being while you guys were talking.
At some point, Kenneth just pulled it out from somewhere and just slid it across the table. Just it's always been there.
Gotta remember that we're walking around with cameras. They could be on, I suppose, would be the operative bit.
Okay. Has anyone opened the briefcase yet?
No. I guess let's open the briefcase.
Flop sweat immediately.
Just you guys go ahead and open up the briefcase. Easy enough, unlocked. And inside of there are 4 different very small cameras and microphone system. All turned off, but ready to go simply.
How much of what kinds of explosives are?
You look through, there are 0 noticeable explosives.
All right. Too bad.
Noticeable?
Yeah, I didn't like that noticeable was in there. Too much emphasis on that.
Hold on.
Sorry, 0 noticeable explosions.
Got it.
Still noticeable. How about unnoticeable? How about hidden explosives?
Oh, yeah, none that you can see.
Good news, you don't spot the trap. I mean,
Exactly.
you don't see any traps.
Are you happy with that roll?
Are you sure?
Would you like to willpower?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, are you actively wanting to just see what's inside, or are you trying to tear this thing apart to see if there are explosives put into it? Or were you just sort of joking more than anything?
I don't think I want to tear this thing apart. I do think I want to see if there's anything in this that is not like just a brief hidden compartments check.
Sure. Let's go ahead and roll.
He's already taught me a very useful skill, which is paranoia.
See? He's just so good at teaching guys things. I will allow either wits or intelligence plus investigation.
DC?
DC on this would be 4. And you are welcome to surge if you would like to surge.
No, I apparently am just going to roll 4s all night, regardless of how many dice I'm actually rolling.
Well, you are an absolute legend, and I'm upset about it. As you're sort of looking through and feeling the lining, there a small piece is like almost like it was tucked in, but as you sort of moved it across the lining, it became untucked.
I guess I'm gonna look at Julian first and then at the others and say, so the briefcase has something else. We could find out what that is right now. Or not. This is your house.
Find out.
This is your house, Julian, so I don't want to potentially make a mess without your
Can we
permission.
take it to the backyard?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. I've got a table in the garden. We can put the briefcase on. I'm gonna stay on the porch if you don't mind.
I don't.
You go head over to the garden in Julian's backyard and place the briefcase on it.
Guess I'm gonna try to untuck and see what's underneath.
Yeah. When you untuck, you do see a singular wire that's attached to a small, very, very small microphone.
Um, any evidence of a camera?
No camera. It doesn't look like. It just looks like it has like it's a small, almost like a watch battery that's powering up this small bug.
Okay, I think I'd like to wave to the rest, like, hey, come over here, point at it, and then like
Julian obviously looks like he's trying to go back through his head about the conversation we just had. Did I say anything that could get me killed?
Anyway, so where do we need to put these bugs?
Yeah, did he specify where he wants them?
yeah, in the places of business of Baron Brink and Baron Fairfield.
Just those two?
Yeah, he seemed like he didn't want to kick the wasp's nest that was Eva's place of business, which struck me as odd. We had no problem getting in there, but apparently she stabbed a guy with a broom and said some pretty metal shit to him, and is a scary individual. So
Okay then. Yeah, so
And they blew up the gas station. There's a lot of blowing things
wait,
up.
did you check like the whole thing? See if there's more in there.
He seemed like a real badass, though, right? I mean, he got stuff done.
Yeah, it sounds that way.
just
Really
like a
cool
very
guy.
performative.
I hope we
Okay.
can be that cool later.
Toting around this briefcase
Definitely knew how to
seems
take a joke.
kinda seems a little bulky. Maybe we should like kind of part these out and get them out of this briefcase, and that way we can carry them more secreted on our person.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Did he say he wanted the briefcase back?
He didn't.
Okay. Well, we can just put it in my basement after we get all the bugs out and everything.
I don't mind taking it. I can make sure that it doesn't end up getting traced back to anybody.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll get some Ziplocs.
Imagine just sneaking into like a place and trying to be quiet, and then all you hear is.
What was that sound? I
Let's
know
try
you're
to
in
keep-
here.
A single
Let's probably
box
keep the
shuffles.
case in case he wants it back. It's a nice briefcase.
Yeah, that was my thought exactly.
Just put it in the basement. It's fine.
I'd like to hold on to it.
Okay.
So, I don't have a phone, but we should probably get a ride and get out of here and get started on this stuff.
What time is it, Josh?
Yeah. By the time you guys were able to, convene at the house, have a conversation, and then move to the Opera House, have that sort of conversation, and then move back and continue this here. You're looking at anywhere probably about midnight, 12:30. So plenty of night still left to be had.
Okay, so what do we know about Fairfield's operations other than the warehouse?
I was just going to go there. I was going to say that, like, the office in the back seems like an ideal location, but also the main area is probably fine.
I mean, have we formed any connections with anybody in there that might be able to give us more?
I had a pretty amicable relationship with um, the worm guy.
Wormy Joe?
Uh, in that he was pretty happy to laugh about the fact that our antics were probably going to get us killed, and then seemed equally amused by the fact that they didn't. So,
I mean, do you have a background in kind of getting people to tell you things they're not supposed to tell you?
yeah, but not like surreptitiously, usually just by making them.
Oh, okay, well, that's probably not an option. But I do have a background in that, so I guess I could sit down with old Wormy Joe and kind of pick his brain while you're or Kenneth is or Charlie or Marlowe, whoever the fuck's hiding the transmitters.
Yeah.
So I guess do we have a reason to go over there? Like plausible reason to head back into the lion's den?
Bruce, how I have a couple dots in politics. I might actually be able to suss this out. How weird would it be for us to be like, hey, we could use a mentor. We could use somebody to like actually teach us the things we're not supposed to do.
Like as a request for Fairfield.
Yeah. Like, hey, Baron, we want to stop peeing in your pool. Can you potentially teach us some of the rules or give somebody, you know, uh, a task to teach us some of the rules?
Yeah, and you have how many deaths you have in politics?
Two.
Two. You get the understanding that it'd be far less likely that Baron taking the time to do this for you versus tasking someone to do that for you, and you probably have a solid like 75% success rate at getting that request met.
So then back to Julian. Yeah, I think we got a pretty good reason. We just went through a thing that went bad in a good sort of way, and I think that he might be invested in helping the next one to go good in a good sort of way. So
Okay, so who's doing what role?
I can talk to the Baron, and I'd be
Right.
happy to bring somebody who feels like they can palm something into somewhere hidden with me.
Kenneth, Marlowe? Y'all have any experience with that?
I'll go.
I mean, I'm happy to go too.
Okay. Charlie, you think you can help me with Wormy Joe?
Sure. I don't know. I don't know him very well, but I
I
can
know.
hang out.
It's all about getting to know our new friends and neighbors.
Yep. Can do that.
Okay. Let's do this. I do not
I
feel
guess
confident
I guess I'm hoping my ride comes back. To one of the others, I'll say like, "Hey, can one of you text my number and just say like, hey, Vincent could use a ride."
Sure. Flips open his flip phone. Fuck.
Gotta
I-
imagine like swipe doesn't
I've-
work on that.
I felt I felt every click in my bones, by the way.
After about 10 minutes of furious T9 texting, he's got a complete sentence. Send.
And T9 was the worst.
Dude, it was
Yeah, but once you got really good at it, dude, you
Yeah,
could
it
fucking
just-
blaze.
it was glorious. The
What killed me
the
is
rotary of texting.
I worked in the cell phone industry at the time when T9 was like really becoming a thing, and it always blew my mind when we'd have some customers that had 3,500 text messages in a month using T9.
That hurts my soul.
I'm like, there must have been a lot of K's and a lot of like a lot of abbreviations in there.
That's what you hope for.
God, I know. It's like full like
Exactly.
paragraphs. Um, if it's gonna be a while, you could probably ride with one of us, Vincent.
Sure. Yeah. Let's just give an updated
mean-
location.
Yeah, I could tell him to meet us at the warehouse.
Yeah.
I'll send Vincent's friend a communication saying we're actually going to go ahead and go to the warehouse and he gets to meet us there.
His name is Simon.
Simon,
It kind of doesn't matter, but
you see a bunch of backspacing.
Jesus Christ, yeah, it really doesn't matter.
Why did you say it then?
He just says understood. Thank you.
I can't even give a thumbs up emoji.
Nope.
Winky face.
Nice. Okay. So you guys are all heading to the warehouse, correct?
Yes.
As we're going and getting into the car, I'd like to hold up the briefcase and say, you can text my phone number with where you'd like the briefcase to end up.
Julian's like, what?
I'm gonna glance at Julian and shrug and say, seems polite.
Okay. So yeah, we'll head to the warehouse.
Okay. You head to the warehouse. When you head inside or head to the warehouse in the parking lot, there's only two vehicles inside currently. What looks like a older pickup truck and a early 2000s like Camry that are parked, not next to each other, but just parked in the parking lot in general. But the warehouse doors are closed, but you can definitely tell there is what looks like a couple of lights on the inside. But definitely, probably the most closed the warehouse has been. Usually it's wide open, people hanging out, but now it is doors are shut and lights look like they're barely on.
As we kind of pull up, I'll make sure that we park close to the truck.
Okay.
And when we get out, I'm gonna just try the door to see if it's unlocked.
It is unlocked.
After I pop the door open, I'll lean in and open the glove box and see if there's like a registration paperwork or anything in there.
There is.
Who's it for?
Jonathan Fairday.
Faraday. Okay. I'll take a snapshot of that. Does it have an address on it?
It
That's
does.
different than this one.
Yes.
I'll just kind of quickly go through just in case he's chucked any other mail in there or anything like that.
Yeah. No. It has the vehicle manual, and that is pretty much it.
What about above the visor, under the seats?
Under the seats, there is a a place for a holster to click into the seat. Looks like it was something added, but no holster is there. And up top, you do drop it down, and the keys fall.
I will put them back. Get out and close the door quietly. You know that.
It's where it like cuts enough, and then you just like give it a little oomph to try to.
Yeah, that's where you hold the lock, the push in for the lock, and then
Exactly, just exactly that.
okay. I'll check the Camry just in case.
It is locked.
Okay, that I assumed. It's a little newer of a vehicle, so people don't give a shit about a junction pickup truck. So
Out of character, I will admit there's a part of my brain that was like, lock the truck.
That's fucked.
so rude.
Okay.
All right, I guess we'll make our way over towards the door.
Yeah.
Is my car there yet?
As you guys are making your way towards the door, your car does arrive into the parking lot.
So I'm gonna do like a 1 minute finger to Julian and then say like and gesture to the group like, hey, go inside. And then I'm gonna turn around and go grab a minute with Simon.
Who dramatically disappeared from the front seat of the car. And he's back.
Yes.
So yeah, I'd like to grab Simon as he's coming in.
Simon will
Just,
go ahead and stand next to you as you guys begin to head that way.
So I'm gonna walk over to him and say, hey, did you get a text from any new numbers? Maybe with a location.
Not yet. I haven't. Am I expecting one?
Yeah. Give me a second. And I'm gonna take the briefcase and put it in the trunk of my car and say, if you get one, bring that there.
Oh, okay. You got it.
Thanks. Turn around and head inside with everybody else.
He sort of stops and looks. All right, do you want me to stay in the car?
Yeah, please.
Understood.
If that happens, it's going to be very important. So
Should I leave you here to go and do it immediately, or?
when you get the text, yes.
Yes. Understood. And you guys head sits into the plops back into the driver's seat.
Speed walk, but not jog to try to catch up to the group.
Okay. You guys pull up, and it's this rather large sliding door that does have a handle. You could definitely pull it open if you guys would like to. But currently it is currently shut.
Is there like a side entrance that's more like a traditional door?
On the far side, you guys have seen it. It's never been opened, but you guys have
Okay.
seen it in passing.
Thoughts?
I don't know how we figure out like what the business hours are.
I mean,
Do we
if
have a
the door is
number?
open, it's open, right?
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
there's.
I mean, if they didn't lock it,
I don't think there's like a problem with going in, but I don't think we're going to be able to talk to the person we're here to talk to. So
yeah, probably not. But we can at least say hi. Maybe you'll be able to ask the question you wanted the answer to.
sure. So yeah, let's go in and poke around and see who's there.
Arlo, if you would get the door for us.
Go ahead and there is no silent way of opening this door as it sort of screeches open just the bit that you go ahead and open it. And as you sort of enter in, it seems like this open common area that usually has multiple people hanging out in different areas has been pretty much left alone. You do see that there are a couple of individuals who are sort of just like, I mean, it's night, so they're probably not sleeping, but they're just sort of laying there in different like positions. Like it looks like they're just like on different like lawn chairs and stuff like that that have been set up around the room. Just looks like they're just crashing out there.
I'm envisioning Tweedledee and Tweedledum just like laying on their back with their cell phones.
One of them you do recognize as Max. Max is laying back there. And there is another individual sitting not too far from them. Nosferatu for sure, just based off the visage alone. But hair sort of greased back a little bit, wearing a little bit more nicer of attire. Maybe not full spider, but not sort of just slumming around either.
And he's just kicked back in a lawn chair.
Looking at some sort of book that has no binding on it or no like cover on it. It just looks like it was the cover was taken off of it, like a sleeve.
So to clarify, Max is that Wormy Joe?
It is indeed Wormy Joe. Is indeed Max.
Okay.
At some point, he'll have a name.
I mean, he has a name, but it's just not the name you guys choose to use for Max.
That's true.
At some point, from our perspective, he'll have a name.
Yes, exactly.
If you want to go see if you can get a quick audience with the Baron, Charlie and I stop over and meet with the locals.
Sure. I guess I'd like to head towards where the Baron's office is, assuming that that's going to take me in the region of those two.
Yeah. You head back to. I guess is anyone else heading back towards the offices with? Yeah, heading towards that back office area with Vincent.
I'll tag along.
Marlo, were you planning to go too?
Yeah, I think we were all. I mean, I'd already asked the Baron a similar question, so it makes sense if I was here.
Okay. So the three of you begin to head that back area, and you guys do come across the little small room that sort of broke different between where you guys were sort of being held at and where the Baron was, in this little small room that has the two different desks. And there you do see Tweedledee and Tweedledum working on their not like working on laptops, but they're typing away on laptops that sort of close them a bit whenever you guys walk into the room.
Hey, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Is the boss in?
Yeah, and roughly about this time, you do hear a muffled between like grunt and like it was almost like scream as someone's being gagged coming from the next room where where his office is.
He's in an appointment.
Yeah, but it should be wrapping up here soon. Is it immediate?
No, just wanted to have a conversation. It occurred to us as we were coming here that this place looked pretty closed, and we're not really sure how to indicate, like, hey, we could use a conversation.
I mean, we're here most nights, so if the boss isn't in, then we know how to reach him if he needs to.
Cool. You mind if we just take a seat here, or do we need to like wait outside, or what?
If you wouldn't mind just waiting out there in the open area, that'd be great.
Cool. Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Turn around and start making my way back.
Okay. While this is going on, Charlie and excuse me, Julian, you guys do see these two Nosferatu sort of relaxed and acting all cool.
Hey, Max, right?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. Julian, I don't know if you remember me.
I've heard the names.
Yeah. You seemed like every time we've kind of been in your presence, like you kind of know what's going on. So I was kind of curious about like where it's okay to feed at.
Hmm.
We didn't get a really like a whole lot of. I mean, I know there's probably not like a map or anything, but I mean, Fairfield said that anywhere within his territory, but I'm kind of not sure where that begins and where it ends.
Yeah. Do you It's actually funny you say there's not a map. Do you have Google Maps?
I hold up my flip phone and just kind of shake it.
Hmm. Um. How about you? Do you? And he points over towards Charlie.
Yeah, I have one.
Cool, cool. There's actually a document that we have that's just all of it that's sort of just laid out and sort of split up in different people's domains. We call it delivery ranges for the outside, but anywhere between Fairfield's delivery range is where it's okay for you to feed, and outside of it, make sure you get the blessing of whoever owns that domain.
Um, it's just gonna sound like a weird question, and I'm sorry because this whole world's new to me. Uh, does that map also have like a list of like friendly businesses? If we're in a pinch and the sun's coming up and we need somewhere to crash out, is there like a kind of like a Airbnb for Kindred?
Not on this map here. But I think a few of my colleagues are in the process of building something like that. Um, but nothing is set in stone as of yet.
I Do you know a few friendly places that we could put in our phones, and that way, just in case shit hits the fan, we need to get somewhere. Because like I said, we're really all we have right now is kind of each other, and I know we've got the Baron and everything, but understandably, we're not exactly top of his priority list. So,
Here is a really good place that's central for a lot of his territory. Um, but there's right on the cusp, right before you head into Eva's territory, there's this 7-Eleven gas station.
okay.
There's in the back office area, there's actually a small like ladder that drops down into this underground cubby.
And like the workers there, like are cool.
The person who covers nights is, yeah.
Okay. I mean, is there anything else again, are there places we can go to like hang out to meet other people like us? Like here's great, but like as you can see, it's kind of dead ski right now.
Yeah, they're sort of out and about. There's not a whole lot of us in, here in general. Um, this is probably the best place to want to get consistent interaction. But each clan has their own sort of set up a domain, or like set up where they're at. I know like the Toreadors are up in the Fashion Mall up north. Um, the Venture, I think, is downtown in the business center. There's a couple of examples.
And those are like anarch friendly.
Yeah, yeah. That's the only thing that's in Indy anymore.
I guess that's true.
Besides the what are they called? Yeah, the problem that Eva brought up at the rant and rave the other night.
Oh, I wasn't there for most of it. Um, let's see. Charlie, did you have any questions that this wealth of knowledge might be able to answer?
Well, I had one thought. So, with these clans who have specific spots, only those that are a part of that clan can go hang out there.
Typically, yeah. Typically, it's if you're part of that clan, then you can reside there. I mean, they may be welcoming to a certain extent, but it's definitely more of a place for each own clan to sort of discuss what's important to that clan's branch within Indianapolis.
And the
So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say, I wasn't really listening to the whole spiel at the rant and rave. Something else caught my attention, but the group that you're referring to, are they friendly towards people like us, our kind?
As far
Like,
as
is that a safe
that
place
other
to go
faction,
to hang
or
out? Yeah.
no, I mean now that I think about it, the Sabbat is what I was referring to, and they're
Oh, okay.
a lot of times they think they're the top of the food chain. They're kindred. It doesn't matter if mortals know about us. They should know about us, and they should fear us. And a lot of times they do think of themselves higher than any other sort of faction because they have a holy mission to accomplish on their behalf, or whatever they want to call it.
So, from what I'm gathering, it's probably like it wouldn't be a good idea to, be with them, I guess.
Not usually. Usually they're, from what we've heard from outside sources. And again, they're just now starting to trickle through Indianapolis, but most of them, from what we've heard, they leave a trail of ash or bodies in their wake.
Yeah, probably. Obviously goes against what we are being taught.
Yeah.
I guess like the reason why we're asking this is because we're newbies and we don't really have a lot of places to go to. Like this is kind of the one place we know of that we're welcome at in this domain. Like we know there's other places like where Eva's at and where Brink's at, where they have whatever, a bar or a restaurant that people hang out at, and this is all that we know here. So I guess we're just curious, like, Sarah's probably gonna hang out, get to know people, possibly have a haven. I mean, I think we're in need of a few spots to lay low.
Yeah. You guys can go ahead. Someone can take the lead, but charisma plus persuasion, and then someone can assist, and so you can get one additional dot. So whoever wants to take the lead on this roll, and
How's that looking for you?
I have 7 die in that. Yeah.
We'll let you take the lead.
For real.
Although you know how I roll, so you
Oh,
know,
we know how you
that's
roll.
very-
We know.
Wait, where's your hunger at? God damn it, where's your hunger at?
Oh, we know.
Thankfully, it's only at 2 right now.
Okay.
That's still plenty for a messy crit.
Oh yeah, for
Nice.
sure. Yeah.
Woo! That does
I don't
look like
know
a
what the-
success, but I do see that
I
one
would
on the
think
wall,
so.
right?
It would depend on what the DC is. I didn't put a DC. I put 0 for that, so I would assume it's not higher than 5.
It's
I would
8.
I hope.
Siren 5 for trouble.
It's actually 8. No, I'm just kidding.
God damn!
Don't even.
Tracks.
It tracks. What do you mean tracks? It is contested, so 1 second. Let me pull that up real quick.
Oh damn it.
No.
Uh-oh. That's bad news every time.
By
I don't
charisma
know,
persuasion, right?
hoping
Which is
old Wormy
very
Joe
high for
here.
this
Yeah, see, he
Nosferatu.
didn't have too much. He didn't have too much.
So it is 3. So a total of your guys beat by 2. So, um, no, I mean if I'm being honest, there's not a lot of places that is open in our domain for going and meeting up with people. Honestly, or places to go and reside. That's stand by Fairfield.
Is that on purpose? Like he doesn't want more places around here?
I think he's got a bigger fish he's trying to fry currently.
Do you know what that is?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, you've been very helpful. We appreciate it, Max.
Yeah, of course.
And we could stand you a drink sometime.
I don't see why not. Be kind of you.
You got some contact information, some digits,
Yeah, I got some digits. Happy to help.
business card.
I got some phone. I got a phone.
All right, flip. All right, give me a minute. Okay, I got your name in there. Luckily, it's short, so didn't take long.
WORM.
That'll be later.
Dang, that's messed up. Yeah, Max is happy to share his phone number with you.
Perfect. Is this guy like one of ours? Kind of motion gently over at the other nos.
Yeah, Xavier's a bit of a tight ass, but he's nice.
Okay. And he's under Fairfield as well, or
I think so.
you think so?
I don't just because we're not.
I get it. Like, nope. You're right. Nope. That's messed up. That's on me. Made some assumptions there that I shouldn't have made,
Not all Nazis know every other Nazi.
That's so messed up.
and I apologize.
Can't believe you.
-1 reputation. Gain
The
infamy.
Nazis will remember this.
Infamy with Clan Nosferatu.
I just assumed all the Uggos knew each other. What?
Dang.
Clan Uggo.
Hey, Max is a fairly good-looking guy.
Except
If you
he's
ignore for the worms that are crawling over him as he's talking, but
You can look past it. It's fine. It's fine.
That's usually how people talk to him, is just by very determinedly looking past it.
oftentimes.
face.
Prolonged eye
Right there.
contact.
Weirdly enough, that's how you talk to most Nosferatu, whether they are having bugs or have other curses. Just look past them. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Xavier's pretty okay.
Do you know how we could get in touch with other like noobs like us?
Well, I mean, word is on the street that your friend Riley is making a name for themselves for that crowd.
Oh,
But I think a lot of that crowd typically, I'm not going to say always, but a bit of a younger generation. No puns intended.
okay. Well, I guess he'll be my resource for that.
Yeah. Do you need to bug Xavier for anything for you guys?
Oh, I mean, I can just walk over. Is he
Okay.
that chill?
Yeah.
I mean, do I need an introduction?
I just like talking to people.
Yeah. Well, come on over. We'll have a whole powwow.
Great. He sort of hops up, puts his phone away.
Hi, Xavier.
Yes.
Okay. I gotta use the bathroom.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, sir. I'm Julian. This is Charlie.
Nice to meet you.
What you reading?
Mm. I think this is one of the first original renditions of the Odyssey that was transcribed.
Looking at the book, does it look that old?
It does look that old.
Wow. That is impressive. How did you lay your hands on that?
Mm. I may have killed a solid 6 or 7 individuals for this book.
Wow, you must have really wanted to read that.
I did.
What do you plan to do with it when you're done?
A museum, perhaps, or a personal library.
Do you have a price you were thinking?
No, a book of this caliber would need to be preserved.
I was just thinking I know of a bookshop that specializes in rare tomes.
And Cain and Abel, if you will.
Cain and Fable.
Yes, that one. A bunch of shams, if you ask me, but
Oh, why do you say that?
they have these tomes, but I don't believe that they procure them in the most beneficial way that prolongs the health of the books around them. Personal experiences and all.
So they took books from you?
I have no proof of this, but the books are missing from my collection.
If it's okay, can I ask what the topic was?
A plethora of different things. Some Cainite lore, some history of Indianapolis, and even some of our history of different antediluvians.
So you have quite the extensive library?
I do.
Would it be possible for me to see your library sometime?
That is very personal question, Julian. But this is once we get to know each other. If you show me yours, I can show you mine, so to speak.
Sure. Yeah, my library is always open to my friends.
I would not call us this, more of acquaintances, as we have just met.
Oh. I understand. I wasn't saying you're my friend. I was just letting you know that if we become friends, my library would always be open to you.
Acknowledged.
So have you been kicking around for a while?
In what capacity do you speak? In this current iteration of myself, or in the entirety from birth until now?
Mostly your nightlife.
Typically, this is a rude thing to ask, but since you are so new and a child of, what do they call it? The dark children, child of the part of that new wave of kindred. I will not hold it against you.
Thank you.
But I have been around for 60 to 70 years. Not necessarily in Indianapolis prior, but around.
Understood. And thank you for educating me about the impropriety of that question.
It's okay. Some people don't seem to mind. But others I've seen, well, books be acquired for asking such a question.
Understood.
Sort
Well,
of
this is my
chuckles a
friend
bit.
Charlie, so I don't know if I think
When-
I neglected to introduce you.
When you introduce Charlie, he stands up, puts the book down, and walks over and sort of holds his hand out to Charlie. Almost
I'll
like to
extend
take
my
you.
hand.
And he gives it a small kiss on the hand before. Indeed, it is nice to meet you, Charlie.
It's nice to meet you too.
The pleasure is all mine, I'm sure.
I'll take that as a compliment.
I'd be unaware of how else you would take such a statement.
Well, you never know.
And knowing our kind, that is fair. So I apologize if it came off in any sort of intrusive manner.
I did not take it that way at all. I was just kind of making a statement.
A wise statement, nonetheless. So, what can Xavier do for you this evening? I unfortunately have some dinner plans this evening.
We were just really kind of picking Max's brain about, you know, local haunts for people like us. How we could, network, meet new individuals who live on this side of the sun.
Well, first, I hope you don't find this question intrusive. But when you say like us, do you mean you guys share the same clan, or just saying kindred in general?
Just kindred in general.
Unfortunately, our Baron doesn't go out often and enjoy the night's life that Indianapolis offers. That's more of a brink or hill move. So if you want to go and enjoy some nightlife, that is more of the domains of which you would seek. And going and partaking in their establishments isn't a issue. They are a business like any other.
So, how does this may seem like an odd question, but this comes completely from just a 100% lack of knowledge or experience. How does Fairfield, I don't know, make money, gain power if he just hangs out in the warehouse?
I apologize if you believe that was my intention, that Fairfield only hangs out in the warehouse. That is not the case. He has, I'm sure, multiple businesses that he probably handles that I do not know.
Oh, okay.
He just doesn't seem to imbibe in the entertainment variety, as it were.
Not a social butterfly.
Not typically. If he is, he's been left in the cocoon for too long.
Okay. Well, if it's okay, Xavier, I'd like to take down your number and maybe we could meet up some other time and talk about books.
I unfortunately do not carry a cellular device. There's a incidents with a few of the individuals that I used to work with. A database, if you will, called ShrekNet. I'm not sure if you've heard, but it was a database that had all of our information what we thought was secret. And the Inquisition was able to backtrack a lot of that information from us, find havens, hangout spots, things of this nature. And since then, many of us older individuals have sworn off the technology. What I do have, however, is a drop location where if you send a letter or piece of paper, I will have an individual or myself retrieve said document.
Okay. Julian pulls out a piece of paper from his inner pocket and a pen. Hit me.
Yes. There is a public library in Indianapolis. Are you the rather large one?
I'm familiar.
There is a blue post office box that sits outside. Leave a message underneath of that, taped to the bottom.
Do we
And one
need
of
to
my
mark the box in any way so they know that a message has been left?
No, my agents patrol that path often.
Okay, will do.
And he gives each of you a Julian. He gives you more like a partial bow, but Charlie, you get a full bow from Xavier. Again, it is my pleasure to meet such young and active members of our society.
It was very nice to meet you, and I look forward to talking again.
I look forward to that as well. Now, if you must excuse me, he sort of turns around and grabs his book and tucks underneath his arm. Max and I have a dinner party to go attend.
Oh, well, have fun.
It shall be a
Enjoy your dinner.
hoot, as they say.
Don't go too crazy.
I will not. I do. And it begins to head towards the main entrance.
Adieu.
I'll kind of follow behind them, like slowly, like I'm heading out to the car to get something from the trunk. I just want to see which car they get in.
They go ahead and hop into the Camry.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But Xavier will hop into the back seat while Max gets into the driver's seat.
The fuck?
Is this an Uber situation?
But that will leave the rest of you in the waiting area. And roughly about this point, the doors are flung open, and you guys see a couple of familiar faces leave from the office area. The first one was the individual you guys had kidnapped, minus an arm. Sure is tied up and looked like it's seen some blood, that it seems to be relatively fresh. And then shortly after, Fairfield with a rag that is heavily covered in a crimson, wiping his hands. Well, this is awkward. As Fairfield sort of chuckles, and that's where we will go ahead and wrap up for tonight's session. As we sort of zoom out of the warehouse, we zoom in on a sign, and it's downpouring rain. And on the sign it says Indy Grill. The sign looks like it's seen a lot better days. And behind the sign is what looks like a building that's seen a lot of age to it, but also looks like is remnants of a fire, where a lot of the building seems to be have a hole in the roof that seems like what looked like it burnt out with some minor support structures. Growing out and into the side of this building is a tree that has multiple branches that are going outwards, but no leaves on the branches. As it rains inside, you begin to see the camera sort of pan to the front door that opens up, and you see multiple legs that are sort of walking through this camera shot. As it sort of pans up, and you see multiple people sort of surrounding this very rundown. Tables are tossed and turned and barely set around this room. But before them, sitting in the middle, Caleb sort of has his back pulled up, and it looks like a conversation is mid-happening. It's all muted, where it's sort of he's just watching back and forth between multiple people having conversations. Before he throws his hands up, and almost like the silence breaks. We know what she did. And it is not the last this city will see of us. For Archons are raining down, and the tower will return. Be on your best behavior, because not even we are safe from the hellfire that they may bring. That is where we will go ahead and wrap up for tonight's session. So thank you guys so much for coming, hanging out. Really do appreciate it. That is, again, episode 17, A Deal is Struck. And we will see you guys next week for another wonderful episode of Indy by Night. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.